Grand Rising. Joseph Hennessy. The name of the channel is The Children. Windy day. Hope my camera doesn't blow over. But anyway, I'm looking for star seeds, light workers, empaths, rainbow warriors, kind, caring, compassionate people who are just sick and tired of being beat down by a system that does nothing for us. So I want to make a video today about frivolous government spending, and Donald Trump is in the process of auditing many of the government agencies that we don't need because we have 450 of them to do what? Waste money. And the biggest one right now is the USAID, which stands for United States Agency of International Development. It should stand for United States International Agency of International Destruction, because that's all they do. It's just a money laundering operation. It spends money left, right, and center with no checks and balances, no oversight. I saw an article where they've never turned anybody down for money, and if you hear some of the stuff that they're spending our money on, it's pretty pathetic. So I'll start off with Ukraine. $5 billion so far to fight an endless war, to where all it's doing is killing military-aged men and making military industrial complex manufacturers plenty of money, billions and billions of dollars. Endless wars, no wars, they're not making any money. And supposedly a lot of our equipment is ending up in the hands of the cartels. So the Ukrainians are allegedly selling our military supplies to cartels for the cash, as we're supporting their infrastructure anyway. Makes no sense when we could use that money here. We send $1 billion to Jordan, $1 billion to Ethiopia, $1 billion to the Congo. South Sudan gets 800 million. Somalia gets 750 million. Nigeria 700 million. To Sudan, so here's the other Sudan, they get 650 million. Yemen 600 million. And Kenya gets 600 million. For what? Because they say those countries are impoverished, and the only reason they are is because the American government oppresses those countries with coups. They say these people aren't free and there's no wealth in these countries. Well, those, especially the African countries, are full of abundance and wealth that the Illuminati want to steal, and that's what they're doing. Cobalt and lithium, and they use the slave labor to hoard it for themselves. USAID spends money on things like 50 million condoms for Gaza, and some reporter was up in arms saying it was for Africa. Does it matter where they went? 50 million condoms? They don't want the Africans having children because they say it's a third world country. Well, it's really not. There's enough abundance in that country for everybody to live a beautiful life, but the world elite don't want that to happen. 2 million in sex changes in Guatemala. Really? 20 million for Sesame Street in Iraq. 1.5 million to advance DEI in Serbia. 70,000 DEI musical in Ireland. I'll have to check to see if any of my family happened to see that production. 2 million electric cars in Vietnam. 47,000 transgender opera Colombia. 32,000 transgender comic book Peru. Millions and millions of dollars to Echo Health Alliance, which is the Wuhan lab in China where the virus came from, the wet market that happened to be in the same city as the Wuhan lab, where they weren't allegedly doing any gain of function research, but they were. Millions to Afghan to farm poppy seeds. Big Pharma needs the opiates to make all the drugs that make us all sick and addicted. Been there, done that. USA funds coups. That's what they like to do. They did it in the Ukraine in 2014. And if you go back and you do the digging on the internet about everything that Joe Biden said about Burisma and overthrowing the democratically elected government of the Ukraine, Barack Obama, they all played a part in it. The stuff started in 2014. That's why those preemptive pardons all go back to 2014. Hello, it's pretty evident. Brazil, guy was named Bolsonaro, Donald Trump of Brazil, they did the same thing. They used the lawfare against him. Government just doesn't want anybody to run the country who's going to help the people, and Donald Trump is out to help the people. I don't care what anybody says. Nobody's perfect. We've all made mistakes. He's a businessman first. That's how he's running the country, like a businessman. He wants to go in and look at the books. What's the problem? What is the problem? Then you get people like non-profits, NGOs, they're all money laundering operations. Bill and Melinda Gates, he acts like he wants to help everybody, buying up all the farmland, growing nothing on it, wants you to eat lab-grown meat. He had his hand in viruses, the COVID-19 vaccine. He's not a doctor. He stole everything that he's ever acquired. Why does anybody listen to him? Looks like a bowl of jelly. So he made a lot of money off of COVID-19 vaccines, and when, quote unquote, they said they didn't work anymore, he sold all his stock. Doesn't anybody see what's happening? During the pandemic, the rich got richer and we got poorer. They just want countries' natural resources. Lithium, cobalt, gold, silver, copper, it doesn't matter what it is, oil. The United States is occupying parts of Syria right now, and it's the oil fields. Why? It's not their oil. Trump's tearing it down. Judges are trying to block people from coming in and doing audits. The Pentagon, trillions and trillions of dollars they can't account for. The day before the trade towers fell down or blew up, Dick Rumsfeld was being filmed saying they couldn't account for $2 trillion. And guess what happened the next day? 2 big buildings fell down. Truth is coming out, people. Government does nothing for us except send our money all over the world to endless wars. To Israel, we take care of Israel, free education, free medical, probably take care of all their infrastructure. And what do they do for us? What service do they provide back for us? So we have to pay for all that, but we don't even take care of our own people. U.S. aid, it's not U.S. aid. It's just a big money laundering operation. We keep saying this, 90% of our government is dirty. Donald Trump calls it the swamp. How could people vote against Tulsi Gabbard for the job that she just got appointed to and call her a traitor? She served her country for 25 years. RFK Jr., he just wants kids to be healthy. He sued vaccine companies. He didn't say he was against vaccines, even though he should be, because they're all crap. All the remedies on this planet are made by God, but they don't tell you that. They change history to suit their purposes, and hence here we are today. Shit show's coming to an end. The Matrix is bye-bye. But it's a matter of us coming together as a collective, manifesting as one. We are one. No difference between any of us. Don't let them divide us. I'm not going to let them divide us. I'm going to keep doing my thing. I'm going to be out in El Camino between 3:30 and 5 o'clock, dancercising, advertising, trying to get one person at a time just to change their way of thinking. We live in a matrix program, slave system. It's called the fiat dollar. Money, money, money. Happy Valentine's Day. Be nice to your loved ones. Remember, love is an inside job first. God bless.